Are we Gucci or not? Or not? Or not? We're rushing through this, right? We are rushing through this. My food's at my door, so I gotta go quick, quick, quick. And I'm doing laundry. And I'm waiting to see what's going on right here. So let's make sure this is working. My food's at my door, so I gotta... Okay, that's good. Okay, we'll post the link real quick, then we'll get the food. Then we'll come here and yap what some of the stuff we left on, or left on. Left with. Boom, 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 boom. What a morning though, right? What a morning. Let's close that. We're done coding for the day. Okay, let's post this a link. Where's this thing? Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Okay. Okay, 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 okay. Okay! Right? Need some motherfucking energy in here. God damn. Bum, 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 bum. Then I'm gone. Caught that whip with Matt and style. Okay, let me get my food real quick.
Fibonacci, feel that zone.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes you win. Sometimes the market bites back.
SL slide.
Marcos.
Got SL slides. Woke up cute, but the chart said bye. Caught that wig, no alibi. Shook me out while I sipped my chai. Got math went left. Thought I was cooked, but I still look fresh. Bounce right back, no stress. Even when it hits, I flex. Got SL slides. Woke up cute, but the chart said bye. Caught that wig, no alibi. Shook me out while I sipped my chai. Got math went left. Thought I was cooked, but I still look fresh. Bounce right back, no stress. Even when it hits, I flex. Set the zone, but the wig kept fang. Sniped my stop, then took off dang. Drop my T, spit it on the Mac. Check for the group chat, yeah, I'm back. Drop me once, I'm mad though. Math still sharp like a blade on gold. Double it up, we still move bold. But when I lost, baby, we don't fold. Got SL slides. Woke up cute, but the chart said bye. Caught that wig, no alibi. Shook me out while I sipped my chai. Got math went left. Thought I was cooked, but I still look fresh. Bounce right back, no stress. Even when it hits, I flex. It's all part of the dance. Fibs hit weird, take another chance. Miss the chart, never chase. Cause profit loves a patient face. I gotta be still knock. Lick my wounds while I moonwalk. Shot said no, but I said plot. Back in the lab, next flip get dropped. Got a mask, still go. Took that L, now my wrist on froze. Club too loud for a chart, regret. So I danced it off, no sweat.
Motherfucking Raven here! Oh my god! Oh my god! God damn! God damn! I have my laundry, fuck. Let's not get too stupid.
Set the level, draw the zone, place the line. Price tap once, then it bounce right on time. I don't chase, I wait, let it come to me. Hit that TP like a shot from 3. Club lights flash, trade locked in. Profit running like it's trying to win. I ain't emotional, I'm surgical. All my feels look vertical. He's so clean with the wrist control. PT 1, 2, 3, let it roll. Wanna dance while the charts unfold. That Marco's math hit different roll. Target lock, yeah, I hit it with precision. Price pulled back, then I nailed the position. Wrist on chart, yeah, the math
Alright.
got the vision. Dancing in the
Our food is here.
living the mission.
So lower this a bit. Yap a little. Where we get off? It was a great here, starting to pump, right? Wait, so we talked about bears wanting to lock down this zone ideally, right? They tried, so if you took that short, shout to you. You would have got out break even, right? Worst case. And then we got that bullish retest of Valkyrie high. Yeet! So if you took that long there, shout to you too, right? Everything going according to plan as per usual. Everything going according to plan. Question is what's going on up here, right? What is going on up here? Leaving behind bad eyes. I think on CME too, right? Not the greatest. How's RTH looking? Yeesh. Even worse, right? Even worse. We are in the gap though. I'm probably gonna have a bunch of hidden bullets in the lower time frame sprinting, right? Yeah. It's like already almost there. Already almost there, already starting. So I'm sure people are gonna be efficient to get back in the long, right? Yeet. Can we clean this high or not? Can bulls finally flip the green box? Guys, we've been waiting for this green box for how long? How long? How long? God damn. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. We're gonna flip this thangity thang or not? Should I market smash the whole thing? Should I just fucking market smash right now? Boy, boy. Bum bum bum. Bum 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 bum. Well, I should probably finish getting stuff on my computer, right? Pivot over from my laptop to my computer before we eat, so we can like look at some data while we're eating. What do we do on this? What's the order flow? Don't have much time. We are gonna have to hard out. 44. Probably like 2:30 or so. Bum, 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 bum. What a morning though. I don't know if anyone's following some of these low caps, but yeah, wow. been interesting looking at these. I'm sure if this was an evening stream, NASCAR All Out would be loving life. He was actually talking about this yesterday, I believe. While we wait for this to load, let's see how everything else is coming along. One one 4 5 1 1 4 5. Interesting. People are definitely unloading some bags up there. We'll see if we start tagging that anytime soon. If we double back, we'll put an alarm up here.
Perfect, no cap. Entry so clean it could nap. Snipe that field and watch this snap. Quick kiss line then boom it clap. Woke up late, still hit my TP. Didn't chase, just played it deeply. Level set like fine machinery. They guess wild, I trade discreetly. Time starts, split games, roll my move, watch it rain. They play games, I stay sane. Profit and I leave no stain.
Oh, I didn't. My laundry wasn't done yet. I need to go back. Leave a timer for that. Very interesting to see what's going to be happening here, right? So we're going to check one last thing before we yap. I guess we should probably check the actual open interest, right? Where is the aggregated open interest? Where are you hiding? Also, put this off like the rave music only. Need some of that gang shit.
Stats. Data.
The math is the fucking math. I don't do guesses, boy.
The math is the math. I don't do guesses. Nope. Lambo mad black. I draw it presses. Girl Scout smoke. Cookie chart got blessings. Blow. You chase green dream. I chase address. Stats on deck, static clean. TP tag like laser beam. Penthouse top with the trading screen. Zone get touched and split the sand. Draw that fib, let price extend. Third touch hit, you wanna send.
Yeah, I'm gonna vibe with the music for a bit while I eat, and then I'll yap about everything I'm looking at when I'm done. So I can actually finish my food for once.
Your chart out, my math stick. I don't pray, I just pick. G5 jet for the weekend swing. Script on lock, let the algo sing. Exotic pack is the GSC. Roll up loud while I press TP. The math is the math. I don't do guesses. Lambo mad black. I draw it presses. Girl Scout smoke. Chart got blessings. You chase green dreams. I chase addresses. Stats on deck, stat clean. TP tag like laser beam. Penthouse top with the trading screen. Zone get touched and split the scene. I got numbers, they got nerves. They hold by us, I observe. I sit pressure in ocean curves. While your trade wreck, I just swerve. Line so light, it still got hit. Wick tapped in and made that flip. I don't need 5 monitors lit. One clear edge, and I'm rich. Girl on deck with the Cuban frame. Top flow view and the charts insane. She said, how you that calm with gains? I said, math don't feel no pain. Stats. Drawn. Tag. TP. Gone. Bad. Secure. The math is the math. The math is the math. I don't do
Harshal. Harshal. Good morning. Good morning, Harshal. How are you? I mean, I was talking about it yesterday, or whatever. What was the day that you were here the day before? Or was that thing that you did? Oh, it was this, right? Was it that? Or was it this one? It was this one. It was for sure this one. No, nothing. I didn't. When I was looking at your screenshot, I thought you were targeting these highs. That's why I was saying, like, oh, I'm curious to see if it reaches the highs or not. I didn't realize that you were just like shading like so super aggressively there. I probably would have suggested like not closing out the whole thing. I mean, each to their own, I suppose. Each to their own. But like in the scenario we enter here and it breaks like these highs, like it's probably gonna continue or attempt to. Boom, boom. Shout out to you though, shout out to you. Sniping them lows. Harshal, a young whale in the making. My targets are generally 15 minute single prints. That's a different alarm. Any fulfill imbalances, don't come up positions for too long. Sure. But like, at the end of the day, you don't have to, like, if you always do that approach that you're describing, where you'd always, like, get the TP, the full TP and get out, like, you're never gonna have, like, juicy trades, right? You're, like, closing the door on yourself to have any kind of runner. Which I guess, I mean, whatever, it's each to their own, I suppose, but... I think having the opportunity to have those trades play out can like really impact your P&L over time, right? Because you never know when you're gonna get some mega juice or trade. It just starts like running non-stop. If anything, I'll also play with it. Like try it out sometimes. Like leave a little bit running. Like at the end of the day, it's on some like binary thing. Like you can like scale in and out of the trade. Like shave 80% instead of 100. Price action hasn't been good for me since the start of the month, so I don't want to leave runners as of now. Just want to work my shit and get out. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair. I think we'll up 1C. Let's just look actually see if anything changed in the afternoon. The probabilities change at all. I'm more curious about the probability of getting like a 50% rate cut, and also what they're targeting down the road. Probability of a cut went down. Interesting. What do I think though? Hard to say, hard to say. I think everyone has a good rate cut priced in. So the only thing that would be a shock in that regard is if A, they don't cut, or B, they cut more than expected. I think a lot of it's going to depend on what they start talking about in the press conference afterwards. Plus, like the 10-year bond auctions is like about to be announced, right? In like 2 minutes or so. 30-year bond auction too, right? Oh, that's tomorrow. So we'll see how the market reacts to this right here pretty soon. So it's some crazy volatility. The motherfucking gold is making new all-time highs. US oil's in a premium. Inflation is definitely rising, I think you might mean. Quite the move on Palladium too. But yeah, in terms of the inflation, I mean, hard to say because they're like they came out and said at the Jackson Hole they're no longer aiming for 2%, right? It's now like a variable inflation target. So. Well, it's hard to project these things because, like, sure, like let's say there is some like temporary spike in like if inflation's like ding 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 like pinging lower month over month, and then like 1 or 2 months it pings higher. It's hard to say if that means like we're seeing like a full-on change of trend, right? It could just be like ding 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 and continue lower. Leave on the 5 minutes. Did this thing get announced yet? Hurry up, hurry up. And the Dixie. Yeah, I think they're trying to get the Dixie lower. Like, if you read into, like... Like, the relationship between China and the US, like, it's in their best interest for this to go lower right now. For various reasons. Like, the US needs to, like, refinance their debt. China needs to make use of the cheap American dollars. And they've talked about this, right? They've like openly talked about this. It's not something secret. Like they're literally trying to nuke the Dixie. It's not the first time it's happened either historically. It's a part of like the tools that in your toolkit, right? You can like leverage moving this up or down over time to accomplish certain goals. Other countries are moving money from Dixie and buying gold. Yeah, gold exposure has definitely gone up, right? Various reasons. Like, what's the... Like, this thing, when this was released, the Basel III, or like whatever, the III. Like, this made like changes to like... the banks and gold, right? Like, well, not specifically this, but there were changes to gold. I'm just getting distracted. I'm waiting to see the auction. Interesting. Interesting. Seems like a nothing burger. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Well, auction, like the 10-year bonds in the U.S. and tomorrow's the 30-year bonds. Like, I don't, they're usually not a big deal, but if they go like very far from expectations in terms of good or bad, like, there's implications to that, right? Where were we though? Where was that tab? Yeah, like this like whole framework made the use case, like gold use cases, like a lot better for banks essentially. I'm sure you can like, read more if you want, but it's kind of like the main takeaway. And not only that, but the fact that like when the Ukraine and Russia thing happened, then like everyone just froze. Specifically, the U.S. froze a shit ton of Russia's assets. That made people like really want to go away from that, right? So, like, imagine you're some country that has a shit ton of exposure to the U.S. and then like one day they decide to just flip on you, right? Just say fuck you and freeze your assets. It's literally what's potentially possible, right? Just because they don't agree with you about something. So a lot of people saw that happen and was like, I mean, people should have already known that was a possibility, but it's probably pretty eye-awakening to see happening, eye-opening. So yeah, people have been trying to diversify away from. Plus, not only that, just the fact of like, I think everyone's pretty aware of the debt situation in the U.S., right? Not like it's some secret. And like they're not gonna diversify into their own currency because it's just like an extension of the U.S. dollar, right? If they're all inflating and doomed to fail, the U.S. is like the healthiest of them all. Everyone else is just worse off. So you might as well go into gold, right? It's basically your only option, or like other precious metals and things like that. Which is what China has done, right? China is really, if you're really looking to China, they're actually like incredibly intelligent, right? Like in terms of playing the long game, in terms of like politics and like nation wars, very smart, very smart. They've been hoarding this stuff for decades at this point, right? They planned this out like literally in like the 1980s, 1970s. And like, I mean, TikTok seems like a psyop to me, right? Like if you look at the studies, the TikTok that we have in North America versus China is like not comparable at all. There it's like educational content and whatnot. Here it's like straight brain rot stuff meant to like destroy the minds of your youth. Talk about well played, right? Damn. Damn, well played. Talk about some skibbity toilet riz. I mean, who knows, right? At the end of the day, we're just being like somewhat conspiracy theorists saying that, but wouldn't surprise me at all because it seems pretty good strategy, right? You want to undermine one of your opponents, the best way to do is like the long-term targeting of their youth. Are we holding the green box? Are we gonna hold this thing or what? Oh yeah, I never finished talking about the data, I guess, while I was eating. Did I see what happened in Nepal? No, I did not. Something happened in Nepal. Protest of some sort. Where is this located? Oh, it's north of India. So they're having like some kind of like civil uprising, I suppose, looks like. No, I don't hear about this. What's the reasoning behind this? The Gen Z burned down the Parliament House. Or they're gonna talk to people sending kids outside of the country to study and settle, buying flashy things. like every politician. No diff. Triggered by a sweeping social media ban, so you're trying to like silence the people. So the people got to know this and started making reels and posting about the social media. Every country has a grievance system with those apps which they can request posts to be deleted. Yeah, I know what's going on with social media in some of these countries, right? Like what's even in Canada, it's like not in the case of like the US, or sorry, not the US, the UK. Like the stuff that's happening in UK, are people aware of what's happening in the UK right now? Like, is it just me? Like that shit is insane. That is insane. People are being literally fucking arrested for just shit posting on Twitter. And sometimes it's not even shit posting, just posting your opinion on something. And then police are showing up to your door with fucking paper printed paper of your tweet saying, "What's this?" and then arresting people. You know, I think people are down the road these next few years are going to come to realize why America and their gun laws is actually the way to do things, right? Because you're already seeing it in Canada. You're already seeing it in Canada here. Like, you know what's happening in Canada? So like we have like very strict gun laws. Most people can't have guns here. And not only that, but in terms of like our justice system, there's like repeat offenders. So people do a crime and then they release them, and then they do the same crime again, and then they release them again. So people are coming here because they know that nobody has guns, so they're literally targeting Canada to come rob people, and then if they get arrested, they're getting set free. So they keep doing it over and over. And then there are certain people that have like tried to defend themselves in their house when this is happening, and they're the ones getting like in trouble. They're getting charged with like aggravated assault and whatnot for like defending themselves in their own home. And people are starting to like get really rowdy about this, extremely rowdy. Because it's ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous. Like the police chief of the Toronto City or whatever. What did he say? He's like, oh, when you go to bed at night, leave your car keys at the front door. So if someone robs you, like, you don't have to like interact with them. They can just go into your front door and take the keys off the thing and leave. That was their advice. And then the other day, again, it happened. Like, there was a home invasion. And the police chief goes on TV and he's saying, oh, guys, you need to comply with the thieves. And then like 2 days later, there's another home invasion, and they literally killed the guy in front of his whole family. They executed him. Because the guy, they put a gun to the daughter's head, and the guy tried to like stop them, and they killed him. And at the funeral, like thousands of people showed up, right? Because like it's not just the fact that like that's like a heinous crime, but like no one can do anything about this, right? So people were there as like a protest about like the way the gun laws and self-defense laws are, and to like show sympathy for the family. It's becoming a big deal. It's becoming a very big deal. Correction ministers told the police to start open fire on students. Yeah, it's pretty fucked. Well, I mean, I'm assuming you're talking about guns though, not like sandbags or tear gas. Because in that case, then like, yeah, because that's the other thing you have to keep in mind. Like, some people like take protesting like too far, right? It's like one thing to be protesting, it's another thing to be like literally destroying the city. Who knows though? Who knows though? Who knows though? Because like at the same time, like that stuff's usually the escalation of some sort. Like, they didn't just start going crazy for no fucking reason. Sounds like a high tension situation. We'll say that. Over 20 protesters have died, and that's what's reported. It's probably more, right? Army stepping in and imposing a curfew. Well, hopefully some kind of solution comes from that. I don't know what their goal is. Oh, so let's not get too distracted. Okay. We're gonna make the move to fill that gap. We're actually doing this squeeze thing here. Your PM resigned. Burned his wife alive? What are you talking about? Burn whose wife alive? That sounds terrible. They burned that guy's wife alive? Are you kidding me? The Prime Minister? Is that even real? That sounds ridiculous. According to ChatGPT, says this is wrong, but or you're talking about wait. No, I think you're right actually. But it's not the same Prime Minister it is now, is it? It seems like it's a different name. Former Nepal PM Jala Nath. And it seems that the one that resigned today or yesterday is Sharma Ali. Oh, like, okay. I thought, okay, well, like, either way, this is like ridiculous, right? Doing this is ridiculous. But I thought you meant that they like grabbed this lady, like tied her to like a tree and just burned her alive, like quite literally, or like tie her down and burn her alive. And she died in the house fire, which is still ridiculous, right? Still ridiculous. Yeah, that's terrible, right? It's terrible. Like, if people are doing shit like that, you also cannot blame them for trying to use like excessive force to stop this, right? You can't just go around killing. Like, first of all, like, was this lady even involved in this at all? Or like, what if there was kids in the house and whatnot, right? Can't just go destroying your entire city. Especially if it's claimed to be like in some like poor economic condition, right? And you have to waste even more money just to fix it. Kind of counterproductive. Hold on, let me get my laundry real quick and we'll yap some more. Students during peaceful protest, PM told open fire on students. Yeah, I'm not sure the ordering of things. Like, my question would be, like, when you say fire, are you talking about like literal guns or like tools to disperse crowds of people, which induce some pain but do not kill? Like sandbags, like like rubber pellets, etc. Actual guns. Go on, let's make sure we get the ordering of this correctly. What is the ordering of... Okay, so according to this, which could be fake, I guess. I don't know. I don't know where you're sourcing this from. The Guardian, AP News, and Politico. At least potentially biased news sources, or not painting the full story, possibly. Well, according to this, it says that they began protesting peacefully, and then they attempted to storm government buildings. And then at that point, police used tear gas, water cannons, rubber bullets, and then live ammunition to disperse the crowds, which resulted in 19 being killed and over 300 wounded, potentially, unconfirmed. Then this kind of spurred an even more violent response. So it sounds to me like they like stormed. I mean, I don't know what government building they're referring to. Probably shouldn't be doing that. Kind of like a fuck around and find out type scenario. Like storming the White House in the U.S. Probably shouldn't be doing that. Just trying to get got into the grave. Not sure if using live ammunition was the correct response, though. They probably should have kept it to tear gas and whatnot, right? Seems a bit egregious. But who knows? Who knows? It's hard to say, right? Because, like, imagine you're a police officer in that situation, and you're like told to like guard some building, and literally, like, as far as your eyes can see, there's people like rushing at you like fucking zombies. Like, what are you supposed to do? This is fucking like zombie mode in Call of Duty. Either way, shitty, right? The whole situation obviously is just shitty to begin with. Probably shouldn't be a need to be doing this. What's going on over here? Interesting. I haven't added to the shore yet, but I'm waiting to see what goes on here, right? I'm kind of giving it some time. Kind of seems like we're starting to do one of these, right? Low key. We'll give it time, though. We'll give it time. Until we start to lose some of these levels, like, I'm in no rush to act that thing. Because there's a bunch of bear days, there's also a bunch of like hidden bold of sprinting. So, usually a symptom of continuation. How's the order flow looking? We'll give it some time for now. If it starts to lose like the golden pocket and whatnot. And we'll dabble, right? We'll dabble. What's the curse happens with this, right? In terms of the math. Also shout to the math. Ding. Ding. Perfectly reasonable to like, expect a rotation back down to this zone. In which case you have like, a negative point of control there and like the golden pockets, so... Plus it's like the stacking golden pockets, right? Do we come down, maybe attempt to clean the bad low and go? Possibly. Do we just start to go from here? Possibly. I'm gonna gamble FOMC with gold longs. 1 to 2,000 leverage. That is crazy. How much of a move would it take to get liquidated with that? If you have 100. Can't even do the math. Think about high leverage trades like that. There's like a very niche use case for that. And I would say you have to be using like level 2 order data, like order book. Because like you need to do it. Like, there has to be 2 conditions true to take a position like that. It's like one, like there has to be like no orders in the book against your direction. So like if you're trying to long, there can be like no sell walls like right above you. No sell walls. And then 2, like the tape has to be like flying, right? Like momentum has to be like flying on the tape in your direction. So let's say you want to do like 2000 next leverage long, 1 no sell wall in the book, 2 green tape flying. Because you need the momentum, right? You absolutely need the momentum to get the entry like secured. I can make 0.4 lots on gold, 500 pip move, making $20,000. News Canlo just shoots one direction. Yeah, what if you're wrong though, right? You just wasted $80. Plus, like, how many times, like, let's also remember, like, how many times does the news, like, get the other direction? The news comes out, like, sweeps one way and then just goes the other. And if you notice, a lot of times on, like, these, like, larger assets, it'll do both sides. It'll, like, do, like, ding, ding, and then go do whatever. Like, it'll sweep two things at once. I'm gonna do a buy limit, so if it doesn't move my direction, my entry won't be triggered. Yeah, I mean risky, but I suppose if it works, it works. Definitely make sure you're around watching it, right? Because like you need to take profit pretty quick if that's what you're planning to do. I guess to me, I would just say like it depends really. Like, what does $80 mean to you? More than anything. Yeah, that's literally what I was about to say, right? It's not really, it's more like a gamble. So if you're okay with losing $80, then potentially. You know, I think that's like a issue a lot of people run into. What's the saying? Like you lose sight of the forest for the trees. You so focus on like a short-term gain or PNL that you kind of like forget to look at it from the perspective of your whole account. In the long run, it's like probably better to just take the $80 and use it intelligently trading. Also, this laundry was not. I have like a massive load in there. It's taking forever to finish. Another timer. Seems like you're aware of that though, so whatever. Whatever, it's okay to have some fun sometimes. I've never been a gambler personally. I've never been like when I was younger and I would go to casinos with my friends, I didn't spend money. I would just sit there and just watch them play. And that's true to this day. I don't I'd rather not lose money than make money. And not only that, but most of those casino games, I don't know. If I was playing blackjack or whatever the game is, we have to get like 21. I don't know the math to play that game optimally. If I did, I'd probably play more, but same with poker. true. I mean, depends how you look at it. I have another account where I diligently trade on it. Yeah. Because to me, at the end of the day, like this whole game is like summarized by like one chart. It's just like your account P&L. This is everything, right? Like, this is your rank. This is what determines your rank in the game. So any kind of activity that is like potentially like a negative EV to the entirety of this account is just like detrimental to my rank. That's the way I look at it. It's like I'm playing the League of Legends and just running it down mid every time I come back to life. Just doing stupid trades. That's equivalent of doing like stupid trades, like revenge trades. Just feeding down mid. I've obviously done my fundamental research for FMC. My bias for that is longs. So that's another thing behind it. A normal account won't trade because it's a gamble. We don't know where it may go. It's a whole different account for gamble. Yeah. Yeah, as long as you're aware, we'll say that, right? As long as you don't enter the trade and then 2 seconds later get liquidated and you're like, fuck, because you knew it was possible. But how much of a move would you have to go against you to get liquidated? What even is that? Like 1/100 of a percent? No regrets? Yeah, you should get it tattooed on your neck like that meme. No regrets. Yeah, think of it like this. Let's say you enter the trade when gold is $3,600. If it moves $1.80, that's it. Later. How much is that? Yeah, so if you enter right now and the candle comes back down to here, that's it. Got him. Better be careful, boy. Maybe do 200. Maybe don't go max YOLO 2000. Where can you even do that? Where do they even allow you to do 2000x leverage? What platform is that? Vantage Market. Award winning online CFD broker and trading. That does not work in Canada apparently. Does not accept clients from Canada. Yeah, we're banned. Feels bad. feels bad, man. Aura minus Aura. A lot of stuff is banned here. A lot of stuff is banned here. But you know, the more I've given it thought, when I first started getting into trading and whatnot, I thought it was really stupid that it was like that. But the more I've given it thought over time, the more I realize it's probably for the best. Probably for the best. Like for me, for instance, if I wasn't forced to buy, like essentially Bitcoin and ETH mostly, that means I probably would have put money in some other like shit coins, like allocated more towards shit coins. A lot of them aren't like have not performed well over time. So if I was like a long-term investor and I had the ability to buy stuff and I did, I would have like been pretty fucked right now. And that's like the average person's experience, most likely. And most people aren't nerding out as much as we are. Same with like high leverage stuff, right? Same with high leverage stuff. And most people like, even when you think you know what you're doing, you really don't, right? It's probably true even to this day for me. Like, sure, I might think I know what's going on here, but like, do I really? Who the fuck knows? How many years ago I got into trading? Like a year and a half ago, or something along those lines. What's the timeline looking like these days? Yeah, like 700 days. But I was like learning about it. Like I was like spending time here, like kind of dabbling in it, and then here I was like learning like a lot. This is like when I really started like nerding out. You zoom out too much, nothing makes sense. Don't do that. What do you mean? What are you saying that in regards to? But yeah, no, it mostly started here. Like here, I was like that, like learning about like, just like finance in general and whatnot. I started like around this time, like March, February or so. It was in the winter, coming out of the winter here. Like quite literally like the winter season, not like the winter in terms of like crypto bear markets or anything like that nature. And then here I got like a hernia surgery. And then for the next month I was like stuck in bed, and that's when I started to like learn about trading. And then I started leverage trading like here. Like in April. And that's quite my job. Because before this, like I didn't have access to like a leverage trading platform because they're all banned in Canada. They're all fucking banned. So you like didn't want to get in shit using one. But then here like Bitget became legal and like Kraken and whatnot. So that's when I started like being able to play the game, right? Because before that I couldn't short anything in crypto. I was like a long only trader. Like once I got the other half of the game unlocked, I was like, okay, sick. I'm quitting my job. later. That even if we know what we're doing, we don't know. In the zoom out view, that's what I mean. Oh, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of merit in that. At the end of the day, there's a lot of merit in. I think for a lot of people, and there's actually a pretty interesting video on this the other day I saw on YouTube. I don't know the gist of it. It was the Lance Brightstein guy, and he was talking about like it gets to a point where like, looking at too much data. You're thinking too much. You're better off just picking like a handful of things, building your system around that, and then just doing that. And I think for most people, I probably agree. Like I think if a lot of people are using all the data that I look at to trade, I suspect a lot of people would. It's like it'd be like an overload of information to the point that's like confusing. Do I read books? Yes, yes I do. I read books. I think everyone should read books to some extent. Or if anything, you know what I do sometimes now when I like see a book online that I haven't read, I'll go on ChatGPT and just ask it, be like, oh, what are the like the key chapters in this book? What are the key takeaways from each chapter? And just fucking move on with my life. Don't even read it. Depends on the book though. Depends on the book. If it's like a book that seems like actually interesting and I want to read, then like I'll actually read it. But if it's like one of these typical books that probably contain a bunch of filler knowledge, can't be bothered. Suggest me some. I want to start reading, but I'm not a nerd. Well, it depends. It depends on what you want to learn about. You tell me. What do you want to learn about? Because I have like books on all kinds of stuff, right? I have books on like relationships, like personality types, like ways to improve your memory, like how herd behavior works, like cookbooks, like literally everything, right? Books about like law, like copyright patents. Like book about how to banter, right? How to joke with people. I'll show you my favorite book. Let me see if I can find it in here real quick. Personally, one of my favorite reads, right? If you know, you know. The struggle. For a trader, do you want to read a book about trading? Probably Market Wizards is usually like the like I like that book a lot because it's a lot of insight into a lot of different ways to trade while like learning about like risk management. Trading in the Zone, Mark Douglas. I'm gonna buy this one soon. Yeah, I read that one. I have it in my other room. Or is it here? No, it's in my other room. I'd like to have like 2 bookshelves like this. Like I hoard books over time slowly. That book's okay. I don't know. Hard to say. Hard to say. Because I come from like a game theory background, so to me like looking at trading in that manner, like I'm already used to it. So like, to me, reading a book like that, I don't really gain any like insight. Like, I'm already like already have the mindset to be doing this. But if someone that doesn't have it, then yeah, it's like very useful in that regard. To consider like a classic for a reason. Personally, like I don't buy into the whole trading psychology stuff. I think people that push that narrative are like, not quite there, right? Not quite there. Because there's nothing emotional about this, right? There's no what is there? What psychological, emotional component is involved in this? Like I'm taking a trade based on the data, on numbers. Doesn't matter how I'm feeling. I'm sizing the trade accordingly. I know how much I'm gonna lose. Worst case scenario. I know if my TPs get hit, how much I'm gonna be making. I'm planning for the worst case scenario, planning for the best case scenario, and everything between. So, like, what is there to get emotional about in that whole process? To me, to me, what that always indicates to me, the first thought in my head when someone says that, it's like you're not planned enough. That's what's really going on, right? Like you're not taking this serious. This is a full-time job, also the most competitive job in the world. So if you need to be as planned as everybody else is if you want to have a chance. And when you're not, it's gonna show, because like you start to freak out in the moment that you don't know what you're doing. Can't stick to the plan. I mean, for me, it's really important for me to leave a chart if nothing's happening and come back tomorrow. Yeah, I mean, I do the same, right? Especially lately on the weekends, like if people have noticed, like there was a period of time where we were kind of like really scalping alts on the weekends, and the last few weekends we haven't been, right? Like I'd rather just disconnect and chill for a bit. Because at the end of the day, like brute forcing the chart time, like it caps out, right? Or like has like diminishing returns. You're better off doing like other things. Yeah, but you look at the charts on 30-minute rates. Imagine trading on 1 minute, rolling trades like 10-minute max. And you have the urge to take more trades, press more buttons to make up for the loss. That's the problem, right? That's the problem. You're describing like the exact problem most people have. Like you can't control your urge. You have like impulse issues, right? You can't control the impulse to like you have like a dopamine addiction, right? You know, one thing that you'll see with most traders, at least that I've met and 2 seen online and 3 from reading, it seems like everybody has the exact same story. And that is that the more they progress as a trader, the less trades they're taking. As you get more experience, you're cutting out more and more and more and more trades. Because you realize it's not worth it. It's not worth it. You're better off just waiting for like a high quality trade. So yeah, you need to find a way to not be doing that. And it's extremely destructive to your P&L, right? Let's say you like your P&L is like going, and then you have like a good trade and it spikes, and then you like impulsively take 2 or 3 shit trades. You just like undid all those gains. Then you have like another good trade, and then you undo it. You're not going. You're just spinning your wheels in mud, right? Not just P&L, but the equity too. Yeah, whatever. They're all in the same, right? I'm looking at it all in the same. Or if you're gonna be doing that, like, you have to be mindful of how much size you're trading, right? Like, okay, if you put like 1% of your account into a trade at like a risk, you risk 1% of your account on like a quality setup. And if you're doing some like super low time frame scalp, you shouldn't be doing 1%. It should be like a 0.5% or 1/4%, something of that nature. Because if you're doing like 1 to 2% on these like low time frame scalps, you can pretty quickly start to like wither away your account because you're used to the frequency of how many trades you're taking. Because if someone is scared of taking a loss and losing control, imagine how they would feel when the account is in drawdown. Yeah. Yeah, but that's the whole thing. That's what you shouldn't be doing, right? Like if you're doing that, you're not gonna make it. There's no other way around it. You're not gonna make it as a trader if you're doing that. This game is not a game that just. How do we phrase this? It's like an incredibly taxing game on people, correct? If you're lazy, like you get taxed. Like if you think you're a know-it-all, like you get taxed. Like you're emotional, the taxed. Impatient, taxed. Like everything just taxes you worse and worse and worse, right? So when you're already dealing with that, most people are already dealing with that kind of uphill battle. Then you also throw in like impulse issues, inability to like filter out bad trades. It's getting even harder, right? You're making it even harder and harder and harder on yourself. That's the way I see it. And like those kind of things, like that thought process of like, oh, I need to make the win back, or I need to make the loss back with this next trade. That's exactly how you end up nuking your account, right? Because like you start with like a little mini lose streak. And here's the other thing people don't realize is the sizing issue. Because like let's just think about, okay, like we'll use my trade history as an example, right? So like a lot of my trades are like break even stop, like break even stop, like tiny profit, break even stop, and like small loss, and then like winner, big winner, right? But this win is like way more than all this combined. So my account P&L is like I never have like huge drawdowns because I'm not like losing and then trying to like up my size to compensate, because it's like, okay, I lose a trade with 1% of my account, and the next trade, because I want to compensate, I use 2%. Now I've just lost the 3% in 2 trades. And if you do it one more time on the next trade, well, now you're down like 6-7%. It's not fun, right? It's not fun to having to like be consistent with your sizing and like grow the account slowly, but that is the way to do it. Which is like the whole point of Market Wizards, right? If you read the whole book, that's the premise of like the whole series essentially. Because you can do like 99 trades perfectly, execute perfectly, and whatnot, and then that one trade that you oversize and just goes to shit, you just pissed away like a month of gains, if not more, right? You know, I saw a video. What's her channel? What's that famous girl trader? I think her name's like Tori, perhaps? Tori? Yeah, Tori Trades. 500,000 subscribers on YouTube. So she did a video recently where she was talking about trade, and she was trying to, in hopes of chasing her first 6-figure P&L trade, she lost $250,000 on the trade, right? Trying to chasing the juice turned into the biggest L trade. She's legit? I think so. Like she's been like a verified, vetted trader on the Words of Wisdom podcast, so I'm assuming she must be. Makes sense. Her trading is like, if you watch how she trades, it's like pretty. Like I don't want to say newbie, like it's a newbie way of trading, because she's using trend lines. She's literally using trend lines on the daily and weekly charts, and just waiting for breakdowns of trends. And she also has like pretty specific rule sets of like what's like a viable stock and play for trend line and what's not. Seems legit to me. Like I've never watched any of her videos. The only reason I'm familiar with her is because she's been on those like interview channels. And then like I saw that video come up on my feed the other day where she lost all the money, and that caught my attention. So like I watched a little bit of it, and when I caught the gist of the story, I was like, oh, I see. And she got into the trade, and then she like started moving her stop loss because she was convinced that she was right, kind of thing. Like the thing most people do, they can't take a loss. Start like doubling down, tripling down into the trade. And before you know it, you just get giga wrecked. Runs out of control. At some point, every trading influencer has been part of some scam exposed videos. I don't know. I don't know too many of them. I don't know. But the only traders I'm familiar with in like the online sphere are all ones that are on Words of Wisdom podcast, essentially, or like SMB Capital. But I'd imagine, because some of the older videos on that channel, the Words of Wisdom, yeah, I'm pretty sure some of those guys were like LARPing as traders. There was a pretty big drama behind that I saw, at least. Not nowadays though. It's sad though, kind of sad. Cause me personally, I don't know where to fall on that coin. Like I'll say this, me as a trader, they never have to pay for anything. I didn't have to pay no lessons, no Discord group, no fucking nothing. Aside from like buying books, like that was it. Everything else was like self-taught by myself. Everything is available online for free. So it rubs me a little wrong when people like charge for that stuff, knowing that it's possible, but at the same time, most people aren't going to do what I do. They're not going to sit here just nerding out by themselves endlessly for like months on end in isolation to learn something. So I guess in that regard, it is fair that if you have built up this skill set to charge people for the learning it in a convenient manner, assuming you're not like LARPing. Problem is most people are. Like this Lance Brightstein guy, where is he? This guy charges, I think, like thousands for his course. Where is it? $10,000 to do the course with this guy. But he's a verified pro trader, right? Verified pro 8-figure trader. So some people it's probably worth the cost. It's like paying their trading tuition, essentially. And also a write-off, by the way, right? If you're in a business in the US, a lot of times you can write off a lot of these courses as like an expense against your taxes. Got a part-time job to support my trading. That's good. That's good. You should do that. You should do that. I read it on Twitter all the time. A lot of people, and it makes sense too. Like a lot of people quit their job and then the stress of having to make money from trading makes them take like bad trades. So like if you kind of remove that reliance on trading, I'd imagine it probably makes things a bit easier for a lot of people. Let me go check this laundry.
No strategy, that's just noise. Back this week, you just a voice. I run that semi-ride with poise. You trade regret, I trade with choice. The math is the math. Don't care how you feel, just run the stat. You pray for pumps, I plan the path, you scalp that wick. The math is the math. Your edge ain't real, that wrist too flat. I don't chase green, I stack then dash. I said it before, and now you got smashed. Proper wrist to find, you guess the move, I read the sign. Your trades designed. I run the stats, then press rewind. Your whole month, one of my trades, you drop 10K. I just get paid, you scalp that heat. I shade that flame, you hope for more. I built the game, gamma stack. Delta loaded. Your stop loss just exploded. I draw that zone.
Pay for you to be a Discord mod?
I'm devoted.
Interesting. Sounds pretty chill.
It's not emotion. It's not hype. It's numbers. You lost because you never knew what you were even doing. The math, the math. The math is the math. Don't care how you feel, just run the stat. You pray for pumps. I plan the path, you scalp that wick. The math is the math. Your edge ain't real, that wrist too flat. I don't chase green. I stacked and dash. I said it before. And now you got smashed. No emotion. No guessing.
Bum bum. Bum bum bum. So far seems like a good call waiting on the short. Or adding to the short. We'll see though. We'll see how this starts to progress. It's definitely nice though, because like for me, for instance, like if I'm not trading, like myself, like I'm still algo trading. But if I wasn't doing that, I'd definitely be more inclined to, I don't know, like sell indicators or something, right? Might as well just sell my shit. Just to have like some kind of form of passive income. And maybe I'll end up doing that anyways, right? Why not? Fuck it. Thing is, I don't know if I can just give out the juice like that. I don't know if I can just give away the juice like that. No, I think people are really underestimate. You know, I say this every time. If you like making money, I highly suggest you start collecting stats on things. Only if you like making money. If not, then don't do it, right? Don't bother. Best trading day? This thing. Where was it? This day right here. This day right fucking here. I will never forget that 5-minute candle. Goddamn. This motherfucker. Right here. I was in a long. You guys don't know. For the people that have been watching the stream for a while, like you remember, I got on the long down here, right? And then we ended up shaving some here and then adding back here. So basically, I had like a long running for like I was over like it was a month basically. When did we get the candle? Yeah, it had to be here at this point. It was on this candle. Alright, point is the day was running for, this trade had been running for a while, like a massive trade, right? Like 7-figure margin trade from down here. And I had all my TPs in this zone, most of them. I had like from 113 to 116, I had like a grid of TPs. It's like ding, 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 right? Each of these TPs that got hit was over 100 grand. Okay? And this, I was in the gym on the bike doing cardio as this price action's happening, right? And then out of nowhere, right? Massive, like all the shorts got liquidated on this candle, and all my TPs got hit, just ding, 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 in like 2-minute time span. It was fucking crazy. It was crazy. My body was like, couldn't even fucking handle it. Oh my gosh. so ridiculous.
my check. Snipe them coins, no pause, no sweat. Every pump I swing with tech. Dog whip hat, I'm waving the leash. Turn to a milli from nothing but me.
To have a trade that was going for almost a month, have all the TPs hit like that in like a 2-minute time span in one candle was fucking insane. It's insane. Fire. Yeah. Yeah. You know, problem is, I tried to do like another, I'll open another pretty big trade. When was it? It was here, right? I think it was like the 886 bounce there. Yeah. Like I was starting to get pretty bearish around this time. So like when we were up here, I'd open like a pretty big short. And I ended up getting got, and I never opened another like sizable one. But we have been riding down the short since what? Where is this thing? Like our average entry is like 1215. So like we're in it from up here. And then what else did I open? I opened another pretty big short. Here, I think it was here, right? I think there was like the trend line, just like the daily VWAP got lost. Whoops. Remember, I posted in the Discord the reason why I took the short here because I was getting hella bearish. I was getting super bearish down here. And they're brown tripping some of it though, for sure. We'll say that. I did get in a long from down here. Our long entry is like what? 107.389. It's like basically right at the lows. But in terms of short, we definitely did a round trip some of this thing. I got a lot of funding though. We'll say that. I got paid like 5 figures worth of the funding alone on that trade. On top of like shaving some out on the way back up. Cause I was talking about on the Discord, right? I was getting pretty bearish given all the stuff that was going on. Still not out of the woods yet either. We'll say that because we might end up just like selling off on FOMC. Wouldn't surprise me at all. Nice, congratulations. Yeah, thank you, thank you. I mean, I'm sure some of us were in the same trade, right? Because we were all planned and prepared for this. And even if I got stopped out on this trade, I was just gonna just get back in even bigger. Let's say I got the fill here and then ended up stopping me. I was just gonna open up an even way bigger trade down here. That would have been even bigger juicer. Delete some of this stuff. So delete these single prints.
Signals in they tweets. I hedge it deep while they chase repeats. They
FOMO buys, I short they feet. Now I'm rolling green off their defeat. Smoking on bullpack, rolling up bulls in the wood. Green candle trap, thought they understood, but it top ticked hype, I knew they would. Ash on the desk from the overlong.
Interesting.
Chilling with a trend gone wrong. They saw breakout, I saw bait. I fade in motion, I load that weight. Hopium loud, but the math too clear. The stops got hit.
This chart is just comedy, right? Tell me this chart is not just absolutely hilarious to you guys. Talk about just a classic getting got, and then right back down here too. Got him, got him. Everybody getting wrecked? Those are my favorite charts. I love seeing that. Everybody's getting got. Makes me laugh. Only because it's happened to me, right? I too have gotten and got. Only one time though. Only one time. No, there's only one time where I've gotten mega got, and I'll never forget it because I was screaming. My throat hurt for like a week. Never did that again. Learned my lesson quick. I wonder if we can find it. I wonder if we can find the exact example. Where was it? It might have been. Was it this? No, no. It was somewhere in here, but whatever. It was PPI, CPI type day, right? And the news came out, and I thought I was fucking him. So like the news came out and it started pumping, so I'm like, bet. Max leverage, full limit allowed, right? As much as exchange allows you to put into a position of that leverage. And it starts running, and I'm like, sick. And immediately just yeet, gets got. I mean, I'm like, oh, fuck it. We're going lower. So then I flipped it. I opened the short in the exact same size the other way. And then yeet, and got my ass again. Never again. Never, ever again. They did the double gotcha on me. Gotta go talk to you later. Now shout out to you. I'm leaving soon anyways. You're not missing the whole block. Probably just gonna do a juice box and get out of here. To get the rest of my day going. Unfortunately, I have stuff to do in the evening. So I have to do things before then. Feels bad. Feels bad. I just want to sit at home like a loser. Look. Cooked? Yeah, I got super cooked. Like at the time, that was like the biggest loss I've had trading, and it was so quick. Like this whole ordeal happened in like a 5-minute time span. I was seeing red that day. Like I pray there's not a day when I'm streaming and I end up putting on like some like losing trade, because you guys are gonna see. I'm probably just gonna drop the stream, to be honest. Just I have like anger issues. bum. Bum bum bum. Bum bum bum. I don't know. I think I always have the mindset it's like always my fault if I like end up losing a trade. Like I missed something or like something of that nature, right? Also, do we check Apple? Hmm. I didn't watch the release of all this stuff yesterday. Was it worth it? Might as well research it now. Was it new headphones, new watch, 2 different phones? Yeah, seems like it. Looks like we're getting a new iPhone soon. Bum, 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 bum. When does that come out? September? Oh, that's pretty soon. That's a week from now, 2 weeks from now. Interesting. I didn't realize it was so soon. Damn. Like, it's not a big deal. Like my phone program or like the way my phone works is like I can just bring it in for a new one, right? Pay like a small fee. So I just get new phones like every year, basically, every other year.
Top faders. Right. Marcos in the B-side. We don't chase pumps, fool. We fade them. Bump the math. Pyro print. Skirting full of beat, duck. Treetop faders. Catching that top. You loan too early. We letting you drop. Jumping green. We loading them shots. Market ain't gangster, but math get high.
Okay.
I don't chase no bounces. I don't buy no dreams. I let y'all pump, then I fade them schemes. Math been red like a set on flame. Stop hunt clean. Who you think run game? Bugatti parked on Rosecrans stripes. Penthouse.
I start plotting this juice box.
Go long, we laughing back. Got 'em smoked out. Candle pack.
Plotting this thing out.
Dibs, let the chart drip slow. I'm treetop faded, you faded hope. AP bust like a 38 poke. Hit that zone, now your margin broke. Treetop faders, catching that top. You long too early, we letting you drop. You jump in green, we loading them shots. Market ain't
Lower this a little bit.
treetop faders, catching that top. You long too early, we letting you drop. You jump in green, we loading them shots. Market ain't gangster, but math get high.
Mm.
Say breakout, we say bait. You running fast, we lay that plate. SL hit, that's chain reaction. You bought fake
I mean, okay, whatever. I would rewind a bit when we were talking about some of the stuff, but for anyone that's like tuning in for the juice box, actually, let me look at this one more time before I start yapping. I make sure I have a perfectly clear, updated picture. Look at Hyper Liquid over here. Hyper Liquid, Hyper Liquid. I mean, I'm just saying where most of these longs are opened at, right? Because a lot of people, like, obviously they market smash this to get the breakout, so I'm saying, like, in what exact candles, like, most of these people are at. Because, like, we start to, like, come down to these levels, of people are going to start bitching out, right? Just exiting their trades and profit. On top of the other ones are getting stopped out break even. That's where these are. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. A lot of longs here, a lot of longs here. And also, like, a lot of shorts that got filled on these two, like, levels, obviously. Like, there's, like, a huge spike, like, right here and right here on shorts. So we'll keep that in mind of, like, who wins the battle for this, like, territory, basically, right? But in terms of, like, the oscillating data, like, yeah, there's, like, CBD bear divs printing here and whatnot, but, like, there's also a bunch of, like, hidden bull divs printing. So we'll see, right? Can we kind of hold the VWAP? I mean, my main question would be, like, do we tap the VWAP and go and leave these single prints behind, or do we, like, grab all these single prints? Which would be kind of bearish, right? Kind of invalidate to the bullish edge that they gave at when they were printed. And also like alarming, like we were talking about this, like forming on the lower time frame, now like potentially starting to carry over as these two roll over. How's everything else doing? I'd imagine people are going to be taking this trade, right? Whether they're taking like the 0.5 VWAP, whether they're taking like the golden pocket, or the VWAP from the high, whether they're taking like the bullish retest of the Valerie eye. I don't know if I'd be entertaining that personally. Alright, my job starting soon. I'll catch up with you later. Yeah. Yeah, I'll see you around. I'm about to get off too. I'm just doing this and getting off, so you ain't gonna be missing too much. But we'll be back at it again tomorrow as per usual. Unless I die. Unless I die, then yeah, I won't be here. But assuming that's not the case, then should be back at it again. Yeah, I think most people are probably going to be entertaining like these two, given like the state of like oscillators and whatnot. And also, like, you really don't want to be like, losing this zone, right? Like, yeah, they really want to be holding this. So, you know, ideally you're in here from yesterday's juice box if you were going to take this thing. Now, obviously a little bit riskier because we are risking that this just starts to roll over. And we talked about the importance of this zone, right? We have been talking about the importance of this zone for quite some time. Or a golden pocket. But the lower we go, the more suspicious this is, right? This single prince getting clean like that, not particularly a good sign. Also the fact that we're like potentially getting rejected like right the golden pocket, right? A little alarming as well. We'll see, right? Lots of areas of interest down here for like bulls to step up to the table and continue this move. Because we're also like fighting for confirmation of this like head and shoulders, right? So a lot going on here. This is like a pretty important area coming up here. And other than that, I don't know about it being too keen on anything else. Until like the levels below that we've been talking about the higher time frames. Yeah, basically. We'll see, right? And this is exactly what we were talking about yesterday in terms of like the trades where you get in, it comes back and like stops the people out and goes break even. This might be one of those exact scenarios, right? Like everybody that market smashed here has like their stop loss break even like here right now. So don't be surprised at all, but just ding, goes. Dun, 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 dun. Also curious to see what happens here, right? Like, do we sweep these like overnight session lows and start to go here or what? Because the order flow has not been looking particularly hot in that regard for these things. So we'll say too, just like the high time frame plans discussed in previous streams. I'm sure people will also be like waiting for like potential confirmation. Like if we do start to go up from here without like, tapping this stuff, when we get like up here, I'm sure people will be like getting in on the structure change, like their stop here. Because if we do flip this, and the whole thing that we were talking about yesterday, like potentially squeezing up to like 117 is like in the cards. So like you'd be doing something like this. Something like that. Boom, 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 boom. Also would be the gap fill on CME. To remember, keep this in mind. We are back in the gap again. Yeah, I think like those three are probably going to be it. Kind of like continuation. Boom, 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 boom. And for the shorts, it might be here, right? It might be forming here. Like people for sure took the initial attempt, right? We were just talking about the open interest spiking up here on the short side. Like obviously people were getting filled on these like levels. And also just like structure-wise, like this whole thing that we were watching for at the start. So far, it doesn't look like the typical failed auction. Like ideally, you wouldn't want to see this leg happening here. You want it to go lower and then retest and you start to go. So it looks a bit more just like consolidation, right? Just like profit taking into like a VWAP bounce and go, or like a bull flag, as some people call it. So we'll see how that plays out. But I'll be mindful of this, right? Be mindful of like if we do one of these on like a bit more like a meaningful time frame. In terms of the liquidity, here's the thing. What is show on streams? People can see. And this is why we were talking about this zone yesterday. Cause like this is like bears have to lock this down, right? If they want to continue this thing lower. Like we have come down and like tagged this green box zone like to the whip, right? The yellow thing got tapped perfectly. And we got all the high leverage people that were up here, right? With the big high leverage liquidation that we'd been talking about, and that got tagged perfectly as well. So potential that this is the reversal already starting to form. Well, be mindful for like some kind of like also like we do this kind of like 3 drive form here, right? Something like that. Also possible. Or we just continue the move. So be mindful of all this stuff. So we'll kind of say a failed auction like forming at current price levels. And then these high time frame levels like have been discussed as well, like high time frame plans discussed in previous streams. We'll put that as 3. And the other one would be probably losing the VWAP, right? Like if we start to come down and this thing starts to go like this, then we come down to here and do that. It's probably going to be like the short. Or something of that nature, which would just be one of these essentially, right? Same kind of thing. So we'll kind of say the bearish retest of like the daily VWAP slash EP. I think that should cover most things. Yeah. Either that, or like if you're late to that, and we're gonna the data's looking bearish, or if it's looking bearish, then I'm sure we'll probably do bearish retest into like this zones as well, for like later on in the day or tomorrow. So keep that in mind too. We'll see. We'll see level to level, right? We'll see what happens if at these lows right now on this stuff. See how it correlates with what ends up happening here. And that should do it. That should do it for now. I feel like I'm missing something. I feel like I missed like something's like not. We definitely forgot some stuff here. Whatever. Between this one and all the previous ones, like, enough context to get some idea going. So we'll get rid of that. I'll probably get out of here. I do have to get out of here pretty soon. So let's do a quick chat shout out. How long is the stream end up being? 2 hours? Damn. Damn, little baby juicer during the day. Shout out to Harshal and our boy Dev. Shout out to both of them for coming and hanging out today. And we'll see how this stuff progresses. Remember, we have more economic data coming out tomorrow. 30-year bond auction tomorrow. FOMC next week. Some pretty interesting times ahead. And in terms of tomorrow's stream, hard to say. I think I'm going to be streaming in the evening, but it's going to be like a weird time as well, because I have to do like some stuff in like the early evening, we'll say. But I might be done by like the usual like 8 PM starting time or so. But we'll see. We'll kind of play it by ear. Maybe we'll hop on and do another like daytime stream like today. Maybe it'll be the normal schedule, or maybe it'll be something different. I'll post on Discord regardless. And until then, I'm out of here. Gotta get going. So a short and sweet one. Later.